Once upon a time, in a sky filled with fluffy white clouds that danced like cotton candy in the breeze, Mary Poppins floated serenely on her own personal cloud. Her umbrella was tucked neatly under her arm, and she was humming a tune about spoonfuls of sugar as she admired the world below. Suddenly, a gust of wind delivered a shimmering envelope right into her lap. It was sealed with a wax stamp shaped like a fantastical car, and inside was an elegant invitation. You are cordially invited to the wedding of Caractacus Potts and truly Scrumptious at the Potts family estate. Come celebrate love, invention, and a touch of magic. Mary Poppins raised an eyebrow, her reflection in a nearby rain puddle showing a spark of curiosity. Well, Spitspot. This sounds practically perfect in every way. With a snap of her fingers, her cloud descended gently toward the English countryside, where the wedding was to take place. The ceremony was a grand and whimsical affair, buzzing with characters from far and wide. Caractacus Potts, the eccentric inventor with his wild hair and twinkling eyes, stood proudly in a suit adorned with tiny gears. Truly Scrumptious, radiant in a gown that shimmered like morning dew, beamed at him. Their two children, Jeremy and Jemima, wide-eyed twins with boundless energy, served as ring-bearers, giggling as they paraded down the aisle. Grandpa Potts, the adventurous old soul with tales of far-off lands, officiated the vows from his makeshift podium, his mustache twitching with pride. Lord Scrumptious, truly stern but softening father, gave away the bride with a nod of approval, his top hat gleaming. Among the guests were familiar faces from Mary's world: Bert, the jolly chimney-sweep and jack of all trades, who arrived covered in soot but with a wink and a song, ready to lead the band with his one-man orchestra. Uncle Albert floated in on a cloud of laughter, bobbing near the ceiling and sharing chuckles that made everyone giggle uncontrollably. Even the bird woman from St. Paul's Cathedral was there, feeding breadcrumbs to a flock of doves that circled the altar like living confetti. And Admiral Boone, with his booming voice and naval precision, fired off celebratory cannon salutes from his rooftop nearby, shaking the petals from the flowers, after the vows, sealed with a kiss and a burst of inventive fireworks, and a joyous reception filled with doll-like dances, exploding confetti gadgets, and Bert's lively chalk pavement drawings that came to life. Caractacus and truly approached Mary. "We've heard tales of your extraordinary nannying skills," Truly said warmly. "With our honeymoon approaching and our lives full of whimsy, would you consider watching over Jeremy and Jemima? They could use a bit of your magic." Mary Poppins smiled mysteriously. Jeremy tugged Mary Poppins' sleeve. "Miss Poppins, will you really stay and be our nanny?" "Only if you promise to misbehave in the most imaginative way possible," she replied crisply.
"We're not alone
"Ordinary
here."
naughtiness bores me dreadfully." Jemima clapped. "We're extremely good at imaginative naughtiness." Grandpa Potts leaned on his walking stick and winked.
System.
"When I was a lad I was banned from 3 continents for imaginative naughtiness. Runs in the family." Bert, wiping soot from his nose, tipped his cap. "Blimey, Mary, you've landed yourself a proper pair of firecrackers. Shall I draw us a map to trouble, or do we jump straight in?" "Straight in," Mary said. "Chitty is waiting, and she's feeling particularly versatile today." Chitty Chitty Bang Bang gave an impatient parp that sounded suspiciously like "get on with it." They all piled in, Mary at the wheel, Bert riding shotgun, Grandpa Potts wedged between the twins, and Uncle Albert bobbing against the roof because, well, he couldn't help it. Jeremy bounced in his seat. "Now the moon. Please." Mary raised an eyebrow. "Have you tidied your imaginations?" "Spotless," the twins chorused. "Very well." "Chitty, moonward, if you'd be so kind." The car's headlights turned into rockets. Grandpa Potts clutched his hat. "I always said I'd go to the moon one day, but I thought I'd take a ladder." With a roar of pure joy, Chitty shot skyward. Uncle Albert finally popped out the sunroof and orbited them like a small, giggling satellite. On the dusty silver surface they all spilled out, bouncing in slow motion. Bert drew a hopscotch cord in Moon desk with his finger. Right then, who's for lunar leapfrog? Grandpa Potts attempted a cartwheel and remained upside down. "I appear to have forgotten which way is up." "Splendid." Jemima discovered that moon rocks taste faintly of ginger biscuits.
was never
Jeremy
the
tried
key.
to feed one to Chitty, who politely burped a tiny crater. Mary produced a picnic cloth from her carpet bag, snapped it once, and it floated perfectly flat despite the lack of air. Out came scones, strawberry jam, and a pot of tea that poured itself. Uncle Albert floated past again, upside down, sipping from a cup that defied gravity. "I say, this tea is practically perfect." Bert began singing, "I do like to be beside the CCI, then realized there wasn't one, shrugged, and changed it to beside the crater side, which worked just as well. Even the man in the moon leaned over the edge of his crescent and waved. "Mind the dust, loves, it's murder on the lungs." Far too soon Mary glanced at her watch, which ran backwards on Tuesdays. Home, everyone. Adventures are like soufflés, marvelous when risen, disastrous when fallen. Chitty transformed once more, engines glowing soft gold. They swooped gently through the night, trailing stardust that spelled thank you across the sky. They landed in the driveway with the softest of kisses on the gravel. Caractacus and Truly rushed out, arms open. "Did you behave?" Truly asked. "Terribly," said Jeremy proudly. "Impeccably terribly," Mary corrected.